Hey guys, this is Garry Dean, Foxy Drop Campers. So I am committed to producing these fiberglass campers. And this one, let me start by saying, hi, I'm Garry Dean. I've been working on boats and repairing boats and dealing with fiberglass and epoxy for about 25 years. And I have loved this combination for many things. I have built lots of different things out of this foam and epoxy. It's just amazing materials for building with the fiberglass. Construction, it is super strong, and I've built several of these little square drop campers out of wood and out of, you try to make them out of materials that won't corrode, but you don't always hit the mark. I've built a few of them, which are still around today, but I wanted to step it up, and I decided that I was looking at campers and looked around on the market, and there's a lot of companies that offer really nice campers out of, seemingly fine materials. Like a lot of them have gone to a starboard wall with a aluminum, basically a sheet of aluminum on the exterior. That aluminum can be purchased in various colors and that kind of thing. But that's just layers of area where water can get trapped. I mean, if one of their seals leak, you're getting water between the starboard and the actual aluminum. And while the stuff won't corrode, it's still not good to have that water penetration anyway. And so with a composite construction like this, you not only get incredible insulating value, which this is 1-inch foam, like that sheet right there. This is 1-inch expanded polystyrene foam from, I'm ordering it direct from the company, but you can get it at Home Depot. As I said, it has good insulating ability, and when you laminate it with fiberglass, it becomes incredibly rigid and works really, really well for this application or just building things in general. So as far as this particular camper goes, this thing is ready to be taken to my shop, and if you'll see the trailer out there, that's what's happening. It's ready to be taken to my shop and sanded down, a final sand, not only to smooth out any fiberglass that's sticking up. If you look close, you can see I got little hairs here and there sticking up. So I want to smooth all that stuff out. I'm going to get rid of your transition lines from one piece of cloth to the next. I'm going to get rid of these highs and lows that are on here with fairing compound. I had an issue. I cut out the vent hole the other day, and I put it right here, and that was where the window had to go. So I ended up having to make a repair here, which is super strong. This is marine epoxy fairing compound. I'm using epoxy on the entire construction because polyester resin and the vinyl ester resins, they attack the foam and melt it. So epoxy is not only VOC, or low VOC, I should say, and some of it is VOC free. It's not only non-toxic to work on, it doesn't have those heavy fumes and that kind of thing, so it's safer for the work environment. So as you can see, my standard doors are going to be 24 wide by 36 high. I will offer the option to put in the Challenger 805 doors if you want. I prefer to build my own doors because the blank that came out of here is perfect for a door. It is insulated, it is strong, and there's no reason why I should throw those pieces away. I am using RV windows, which you have the cutouts, a little bit about the construction. So you can see just by looking at this thing, if I just pan around a little bit, you can see lots of different things going on. And I'm very well versed in fiberglass application, structural repairs on boats, and that kind of thing. So I do understand how to get your structure, how to get your strength, and where and when certain types of fiberglass mat and cloths should be used. But on this particular thing, I've kind of just been pushing it around, shaking it, turning it over, just trying to see where it would flex and where it would need extra reinforcements. And because of that, I went ahead and used the super heavy duty, let's see if I can find a piece of it, the super heavy duty 1708 boat cloth. This is incredible stuff. It's super strong. It does take an incredible amount of epoxy to wet that out, to make it do its thing. But it's crazy strong. So I've got a whole piece on top here. I literally can jump up and down on this roof. That's how strong it is. On the walls of this particular unit, I laminated the walls with a 1.5 ounce chop strand mat. Now, when that's wet out, that's pretty strong. It's biaxial, which means it's strong in pretty much every direction. It's just great stuff. It's inexpensive to purchase, and it doesn't use way too much resin. But I've decided against using that on future builds because I want something a little lighter weight, utilizes a little less epoxy, and a little stronger. So instead of using 1.5 ounce chop strand, the future models, the next one I'm actually, after I get this one all straight, I'll be starting on the next build, which will be a 5 wide by 8 long, whereas this is a 4 by 8, which I feel like is great for 2 skinny people or a person and a dog, or, you know, 2 people who like to be super close. Personally, I like a little bit of room. I want a queen size bed, all of those things. And then the next build, I'll be able to have that. So I'm switching things up on how these are going to be built. This thing does not need 1708 biaxial cloth anywhere. It just does not need it for what it is. It adds a lot of weight. It costs a lot more for not only the cloth, but also because it requires like 4 times more epoxy to wet it out than the rest. So if I'm using the 1708, yes, it's going to be stupid strong. It doesn't have to be that strong, though. I don't know how to explain that. I'm not trying to say I don't want it to be super strong, because it will be. This is just overbuilt. 1708 is overkill for sure. So I'll be switching it up. You also, not using the 1708 will dramatically bring the cost down, because epoxy is around, the stuff I am using, this Total Boat epoxy, is around $125 for a 1.25 gallon kit, which you see there. That's the epoxy resin, there's the hardener. And so it's not cheap. And while I'm not trying to be cheap, I want this thing to be a Forever Materials unit, and I want it to be very strong, but I don't want there to be any real redundancy. And I feel like the 1708 is just, it's just too much. It doesn't need it. So I'm going to be switching it up, building the next one with different materials, the same materials, epoxy and this foam, expanded polystyrene, but I'm not going to be using the 1708 on the next build at all. So stay tuned for that. Where the AC goes, you can see that all of the interior is all glassed in. So it's all sealed. The doors are all sealed. The windows are all sealed. I just did this yesterday. So all of these are sealed. I still have to sand everything, but I'm going to take it to the shop to do that. The area around the vent fan hole, that's all sealed. That window's sealed. On the interior on this one, I just built a super strong shelf up there. And then I've got my entertainment center back there. So I'm gonna mount a TV on that wall. I'm gonna put some speakers up underneath here. But this thing's super strong. The floor also got 1708. That's probably where I'll use 1708 on the next build, but I'm not 100% sure. So anyway, I just wanted to show you guys a little bit about the construction and, you know, how this thing's built. You can see I used a little bit of 6-ounce cloth in there, which actually I feel like is ideal for these builds. Multi-layers on some areas, of course, but the 6-ounce cloth is very strong, it's lightweight, and is very functional. So I'll be using the blanks that came out of these holes as the doors. I've got nice black stainless steel hinges and nice latches and that kind of thing. But anyway, I just wanted to show you guys what we're looking at for materials and construction. I take pride in my work, and I've always wanted to be in the outdoor community as far as a business, and now here we are. Foxy Drop Campers is born. So stay tuned for more. I'm going to show you guys more on, you know, how these things are built and that kind of thing. They take a lot of time though. This is all hand-laid fiberglass. So I'll bring you back and give you more information as we go. But for now, it's time to get this thing loaded on the trailer, get it to the shop so I can get it all sanded down and prepped for the exterior liner install. This one's going to get a light gray to match my Sorrento. And then on the interior, I'm going to do all white, but I haven't decided whether I'm going to use like an RV grade interior latex, or if I'm going to go ahead and use my liner material, which is a VOC free version. That would make it a interior and exterior water membrane, if you will, to keep water out, which the fiberglass does all of that, but even more reinforcements to keep the water out. So those are my options for the interior, but I'll let you guys know what I decide. We're already almost 13 minutes in, and I just wanted to give you guys a glimpse of what we're doing. So stay tuned and we'll be back for more.